All right, Hugh, spring training starts tomorrow. And I think other than the Bryce thing, right, the theme of spring training this year, we've been hitting on it this week, has been these young guys, right? How good they're going to be, how quickly they're going to get to whatever they're going to be, and how much they're going to help this team. There's three of them that stand out. Now, Aidan Miller is probably the furthest from the big leagues. That might be
a little while.
Yeah, look, it might be midseason, it might be next year, it might be May. I don't know. But it's very, very unlikely it's anything close to opening day. The other two, though, Justin Crawford, Andrew Painter, they're expected to help this team right away. So, Hugh Douglas, as we start off spring
Andrew
training,
Painter.
That's your guy?
Yeah. I mean, I think when you talk about, we don't know what Wills is going to be. We don't know what that is. Mm-hmm. We don't know what NOLA is.
Last year was bad.
I mean, when you talk about the strength of this squad, it was the pitching. Mm-hmm. You talk about Duran being there and him potentially, having a breakout season. Well, not breakout season, but being here the whole year and him being a contributor. That pitching is going to be crucial. We don't have Ranger,
yeah.
Whatever he said his name is. Rangel, whatever.
Well, it doesn't matter anymore. He's not here, so.
No, I'm just saying, but
no, I think he's painting why it's
painting. Yeah,
why I'm saying we don't need to get his name right.
Oh no,
I'm working on it. Yeah, but
you don't have to.
He's important. I think he's an important piece because he was billed as an important piece years ago, and we haven't gotten a chance to see him. So I think that keeping with the theme of the bullpen, well, not the bullpen, but the pitching. He has to come in and he has to be lights out.
Well, I'll say this on the Painter thing. Hugh, last year, the strength of the team was their starting pitching, right? Mm-hmm. And I think there's an expectation that will be that way again.
Yes.
But that probably only works out if Painter is good.
Exactly.
Because I'm looking at, I think Sanchez is awesome, right? He's elevated to now a top 10 pitcher in baseball. I think Luzardo's awesome. I want them to pay him right now and extend him so he doesn't hit free agency next year. I'm a big Luzardo guy, and I think you take away those two starts last year where he got blown up. He was just tremendous, and he dominated the Dodgers in the playoffs. But after that, Hugh, you're right. It's more question marks than sure things in this rotation.
Yes, and man, and I like the fact because I saw, just some stuff in passing when you're watching television. He seems real confident.
Painter.
Yes, he seems real confident. It didn't get a chance to see him talk as much last year, but the up and down season that he had last year when we were hoping he was going to come up and he didn't make it. This year, it sounds like. He's locked in. He knows what's expected of him. So, yeah, he's the guy.
Speaking of last year, let's listen to Topper talking a couple days ago. This is Rob Thomson on Andrew Painter and how he thinks last season, and it was a lot of ups and downs and too many downs. That's why he didn't get to the big leagues, how maybe it's going to help him as he gets ready for this season.
I think he's pretty calm, just talking to Stubby because Stubby was with him all year and how he was not affected by poor performance. And he was able to bounce back. And he's got a short memory, and this is a guy that's never had failure. So, in a way, having failure there might be good for him because if you've never had failure, you don't know whether you're ever going to bounce back. Now he's had failure. Now he's bouncing back. So he's going to have failure again, like everybody does. Then he knows that okay, I'm good. This is baseball, and I'm going to get back, and I'm going to be fine. So. I think he's very calm and poised, and I think he's ready for this.
Well, and they need him to be. And I look, if he could take what happened last year, which was a difficult season for him, and kind of channel it to learn how to deal with failure, that's going to be a good thing for him as he tries to make his debut and get to the big leagues. All right, let's hear JT Realmuto a couple days ago after catching Andrew Painter in some of these bullpen sessions before we get ready for these spring training games.
He looks great. I caught his bullpen yesterday, and I want to say it was 98, 99, and it's just easy. It doesn't look like he's throwing max effort, which this time of year you obviously don't want guys doing, and it's still coming out that firm. I watched some of his video from last year, and it looked like his stuff was there. It's just like you mentioned, I think a lot of guys coming back from that injury, they just don't quite have the feel for the baseball to be able to command it like they normally do. And Painter's one of those rare instances where he has such quality stuff, but he also commands the baseball really well.
Look, if he can be close to what they thought he was going to be a few years ago, it is a huge thing for this rotation. So Painter's obviously, we're going to have all eyes on Andrew Painter. But here, the guy is for me that I'm most excited to watch this spring training? It's Justin Crawford. And the reason is I think of the three rookies that we've talked about, and it's going to be a big theme of spring training, he's the one that's probably going to just have the most potential impact, right? Like, Painter's going to be the fourth or fifth starter. We'll see how many starts he could take down. I hope it's a full year of 20, 25, 30 starts. But, that's when we'll see him. I don't think Aidan Miller is going to arrive here right away. So if he comes this summer, great. If he arrives this summer, but I don't know. Justin Crawford, if he can play, might take down 140 starts in center. He might get 600 plate appearances. That's a lot. Like, that's a lot of just at-bats and plate appearances and time in the outfield. He's going to have a chance to really impact this thing. And, Hugh, I'm fascinated to watch if he can be what he's been or close to it in the minor leagues, because you look at his minor league stats, and I think we should almost be more excited about him than we are. He hit 322 in the minor leagues. Now, people say he hits the ball on the ground too much, and can you do that in the majors, right? Can you actually succeed here the way he's, I don't know. We're going to find out if he can, or he's got to change his game, but he's got the pedigree. He's super, I mean, he can steal bases, he can run, he can play the outfield.
And that's something you've been missing. You've kind of been missing when you talk about the small ball aspect of this team, and the fact that where they position him. You know, you're trying to get him to realize that you're an integral part about this season, or what we're trying to do this season. So yeah, I get what you're saying, but to me, it's the pitching, because if you have the pitching, Joe, then you have time to get the hitting and stuff. You buy yourself some time.
You do. Well, you would. And look, they need Painter for sure. But the other thing about Crawford that it really kind of stands out to me is I don't think they have a safety net. Right? Like if Painter,
if it don't work, you talking about with Crawford.
Yeah.
If it ain't him, is it? That's it.
Like, look, think about Painter, right? If he struggles or has ups and downs, again, he's the fourth or fifth starter. And in fact, when Wheeler comes back, you could just send him down. I mean, I don't want to, but that could happen. Like if he needs more seasoning. Aidan Miller, if he's not ready, they don't need him this year. It'd be great to have him. What is the alternative in center field if Justin Crawford is ready to roll? They're going to roll March back out there? We know that wasn't great. And who the heck plays left field? So it's like he's the most important rookie to me on this team. And just watching a little bit of him in the minor leagues, and I was reading an article the other day, we talked about the art of bunting. The guy he reminds me of, this is a name, a little blast from the past. He played here for 1 year at the end of his career. He reminds me of Juan Pierre. Remember Juan Pierre? He was a Marlin. He played for the Rockies. He played here at the end of his career. He was an old school singles and bunts, and he didn't hit for any power. But Juan Pierre played in the big leagues. He was a good player. He played the outfield well. And that's when I watch Crawford, I think of Juan Pierre. Like, can he get on base enough? Can he hit? I mean, Pierre must have hit around 290 for his career. Like, if Crawford could do that and play a good center field, they've been missing that around here for a long time. It's almost like what Rojas they wanted him to be.
I was just thinking that's
a better version. An actual good version of the Rojas thing. He reminds me of Juan Pierre, and if he could have that kind of career, I would take it. Kyle, who are you excited the most about of these young guys?
It's still Painter. I know he had a down season last year, but I still think he probably might end up being the best of the three.
Probably.
Well, he was the most highly touted out of the three.
And before the Tommy John, we were talking about this dude, he could be an ace level pitcher.
Yeah.
So that potential really excites me, and I guess I'm more unsure of Crawford and Miller, and I just feel like Andrew Painter's.
He should be the most ready.
I agree. I think he's the most ready to make an impact player on the roster in terms of those three guys for this season.
Yeah, I mean, look, they said they kept him at AAA all year last year to get all the kinks out. So now it should be ready to go. Spring training starts tomorrow with the games. We'll have Scott Francie coming up at 1 o'clock. You can tell us who you're most excited for with these three young guys. 215-592-9494.